Welcome to self-care time. We're going to start standing today. I have some yoga blocks nearby and other cushions or pillows as well if we need those. So we'll begin by bringing our feet underneath our hips and softening into our knees just a little bit, relaxing the pelvis. So there's a real sort of sinking into the legs sensation. Bring your awareness into the soles of your feet and open and spread the bottom of your feet so that more of the sole of the foot is in contact with the ground. And then just a very subtle rocking forward and back and finding the place that feels like the most solid connection. And from there, snuggle your feet into the ground beneath you while at the same time finding that sky hook out of the crown of the head and inviting a real lightening and lengthening upward through the spine and through the whole body. So you get that sense of rooting down while at the same time moving upward. And from this place of grounded and centered connection, we're going to just relax our arms and shoulders, relax our belly, and allow our awareness to anchor into the sensation of the breath. You can close the eyes or just allow the eyes to be at a soft gaze in front of you. And just for a moment or two, we're going to bring our awareness from to follow the breath between the navel and the throat. And we're going to, as we inhale, just feel that breath moving into the belly, but also moving upward from the belly all the way up towards the throat. And as you exhale, noticing and experiencing that breath moving down towards the navel. And we're just going to stay connected to that sensation of a wave between the navel and the throat. You can have an ujjayi breath, which is a slight constriction at the back of the throat, creating an audible sound. Or you don't have to have that breath, just have a natural breath flowing in through the nose and out through the nose. And see if you can get that three-dimensionality sensation as the breath flows between the navel and the throat of the breath expanding through the back and through the rib cage at the same time as it's flowing up, and then that contraction as the breath flows down, releasing. Good. And then we're going to stay with that connection, but we're going to bring a little more movement into the body with the arms. So as you inhale, we're going to just let your arms float out to the side, staying connected with the full length of that inhale, perhaps all the way up to your shoulder. Arms and hands are soft and relaxed. And then you're going to exhale and just let those arms effortlessly float downward with the exhale. Good. So just expanding and opening with the arms as you inhale, floating upward and relaxing as they float downward on the exhale. Letting this movement be whatever feels the most natural, the most smooth, the most effortless. Connecting breath with this gentle, smooth movement is a meditation in motion. And we return daily for our movement meditation practice to cultivate connection, to energize ourselves through the releasing of tension. And overall, just rejuvenate our energy. Yeah, good. Let's go ahead as we inhale, a little deeper inhale. Let's let those arms float all the way overhead. And then exhaling all the way down. Yeah, good. A little deeper inhale as we float those arms up. And a little deeper exhale as we float those arms back down. Let's do that a couple more times. Lifting our gaze at that top of the inhale and exhaling, relaxing our arms down, lifting through the crown as you tuck the chin in towards the throat a little bit. Good. Inhaling. At the top of that inhale, little arch in the upper back, and then exhaling, the arms relax down and the chin tucks in as the head releases forward a little bit. Good. Inhaling. As you inhale, just soften into the knees a little bit, staying connected to that sense of rooting. Good. This time we're going to keep our arms up. And then we're just going to lift through that left arm a little bit higher, rooting through that left foot. Good. Inhaling back to center and exhaling. Right arm goes up and over just a little bit as you root through that right leg. Good. Inhaling back to center and back and forth here. In the rhythm of your own breath, exploring that connection between rooting down through the legs and feet and lifting and reaching upward. Good. Inhaling back to center, and we're going to exhale as the arms come down. Let your hips float back, soften into knees, bending forward, and we're just going to release ourselves into a forward fold with knees quite bent. We can kind of relax our torso onto the upper legs and breathe here. Opening the back side of the body as you hang out. Releasing head and neck. Good. And then as we inhale, we're going to straighten through the legs just a little bit. Actually, they can stay bent as well, and lift the head into kind of a little bit of a flat back. And then we're going to release back into a forward fold. We'll do that a couple more times. We're going to inhale, lifting our head just a little bit, and we're going to release back into that forward fold. And one more time. We're going to inhale, and we're going to release. Good. Hanging out here again. Let's straighten into the legs, keeping our fingers connected to the ground, and then bend into the knees as you bring body more into that forward fold, and then lifting just a little bit, keeping fingers connected, and then we're going to bend. Good. One more time. Straightening as we come onto the more of the fingertips or blocks, and releasing as we bend into the legs. Good. Then we're going to bring our hands to the mat, and we're going to walk our feet back and lift our hips and just walk out your legs, bending one knee as you press into the other heel. Good. Downward dog here, walking out our legs. Feels good. We're gonna come up onto the balls of the feet, lift our hips up a little higher, release our head a little bit more. And then let's just bring our weight forward over our hands, lower the hips, lift the head. And then we're gonna bring those hips back up and bring the chest back, walk the legs. Good. Okay. Let's step our left leg forward and bring it between the toes, and we're going to lower down the right knee. So now we're hanging out here. If you have blocks, you can bring blocks right on either side of your foot and just hang out here in a low lunge. And then you can move the hips back, flex the toes towards your head, and then move forward over that ankle. Good. Bring the hips back, straighten the leg a little bit, flexing those toes back. Good. And we'll just move back and forth. And then coming forward and just letting your hips melt towards the ground. We're going to plant the right arm on the floor or the block. And we're going to lift our left arm as we twist here. And breathing. Bringing that arm down. Let's plant that arm either on the floor or on the block. And we're going to inhale the right arm as we twist open this way. And breathing here. If it feels good, you can curl the back toes and lift that back leg and up into a high lunge. And then we can either keep the high lunge or bring the knee back down and exhale that arm down. Good. I'm gonna move the blocks over to the side just a little bit and bring the hands down. I'm gonna curl those back toes and lift that back foot. Move that back foot in just a little bit so I can bring my foot flat onto the floor. Might feel good to have the blocks actually here. Plant your hands on the blocks, and then let's try to straighten the front leg only if it feels good. And then releasing your head, pressing into your hands, and breathing. Noticing how your legs and hips feel. As you breathe, can you feel that sense of expansion through the upper back? As the shoulder blades move away from one another, staying engaged through the arms. Good. And then we're going to move the blocks and we're going to bring our hands to the ground and bring that front leg back. Good. And then find that downward dog back, and you're going to walk your legs. Big bend in one leg, the other heel moves down. Coming up on the ball of the feet, pressing the chest back towards the legs, and then we're going to come down onto knees and move into cat-cow. So inhale, we're releasing the belly, allowing your head and tail to move up, and then exhaling, draw the belly in as you wrap through the back, pressing into your hands and knees. Good. Back and forth here. Inhaling as you release the belly, lifting head and tail, and exhaling, rounding to the back, pressing into your hands and knees. Good. Couple more times. Good, and then bring those hips back. Find a place to relax your head forward and just melt into a child's pose. Maybe spreading the knees a little bit. And just take a moment to completely surrender and rest. What are you noticing as you begin to warm up the body with this movement? Good. And then we're going to lift the head slowly. And let's just let those arms continue to reach out in front. We'll bring our hips up over our knees. And then let's walk our hands out a little bit further and find a puppy dog. So we're going to let the chest and head come towards the ground as the hips stay up over your knees. Really good for releasing tension in the upper back and the shoulders and the neck. Your head can release towards the floor. Your chest also. And then finding that connection with a smooth, deep breath. And when you're ready, bringing those hands, walking those hands underneath you more, finding all fours. We're going to curl those back toes and we're going to press our hips up and back, coming onto the balls of the feet. Good. And then releasing the heels down. And then let's bring that right leg forward this time in between our hands. If you have blocks and you want to bring those here, that might feel good. You can either stay in the high lunge or bring that knee down and uncurl your toes. And then planting your right hand down, go ahead and inhale. I'm sorry, left hand down. Inhale your right arm up and hang out here. Feeling that spiral through the back, through the spine. If you bring your gaze up, it increases the spiral at the top of the spine. You can curl the toes and lift into a higher lunge if that feels good, or stay in the low lunge. Good. And on your next exhale, bring that right arm down, plant that right hand, and we'll inhale the left arm into a twist on this side. And on your next exhale, bringing that arm down. Let's step that foot back, finding a downward dog again. Walking the legs for a moment if you like, or just hanging out in a still down dog. And then we're going to move forward into plank, lowering the hips, bringing the head up, and then back into down dog. Let's do that just a couple times more. So inhaling forward, pausing for a moment, and then exhaling, hips up and back. And one more time, coming forward, pausing at the top of the inhale, and then exhaling the hips back. And then we're going to walk our feet forward. It's back a little bit. Find that forward fold again, bending your knees. Releasing the head and neck. And then come upon the fingertips as you straighten into the legs. And then bending into the legs as you release onto the tops of the thighs. Good. Inhaling fingertips or blocks, straightening the legs. And releasing back onto the tops of the quads. Good. And then staying with bent knees or straightening the legs, we're gonna inhale as we bring the head up, maybe bringing our arms off the floor a little bit into flat back. And then we're gonna release back into that forward fold. Good. Inhaling, just lengthening through the crown of the head, finding that flat back, and releasing back down. Good. Inhaling one more time. And releasing back down. Good. Then we're going to stand down in the legs to roll ourselves up. Stacking vertebra on top of vertebra, bringing ourselves over our hips, stacking shoulders, and letting the head roll up last. Good. Let's inhale our arms overhead. Little arch at the top of the back, and release the arms down. Wow, everybody, I feel like I'm on fire here with my cheeks. Oh, I wonder how you're feeling. All right, let's bring our hands onto the low back, fingertips down, and just draw the elbows together. As you draw your elbows together, you're relaxing your head forward, relaxing your shoulders away from the ears. And you're letting your breath move smoothly up into the chest as you inhale and all the way into the belly, waist, low back, rib cage. Good. As you inhale, let your head roll up. Bring the gaze up. And as you exhale, let that head roll forward and release the head forward. Good. Inhaling, rolling up. Bringing the gaze up. Head back. Good. And then releasing forward. One more time. Inhaling, head up. And releasing forward. Good. We'll release the arms. Yay. Okay. Let's bring our feet a little bit wider than hips and just let our hips move side to side. And then finding a large circle here for the hips and torso. And we'll reverse. Good. And coming back up, bending into the legs and just bouncing here a little bit, releasing tension in the hips. Let the arms release. Good. Maybe turn your heels inward a little bit and your toes out, releasing arms, shoulders, finding that crown. Good. And then we'll release that and heel toe the feet out a little bit wider. We'll do a triangle pose. So we're gonna keep your right toes forward and maybe just turn that right heel out just a little bit. And then we're gonna take the left toes and rotate on the heel and rotate the toes out. Put our legs straight. We're gonna go ahead and reach through our left arm as far as feels good. Letting the hips move back, good. And then we'll bring the arm down towards our shin and the upper arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Our gaze can look up, be straightforward, or down to the ground. And then again, finding that smooth, deep breath. And we're kind of relaxing and resting in this pose, even though we're staying connected and active through our arms, through the legs, through the crown of the head. Building that inner heat and fire. A good thing to do when it's a little bit chilly outside, or if we're feeling a little bit tired. Good, and when you're ready, you're gonna reach that upper arm up a little bit as you inhale and bring the body up. Inhaling the body up, good. And then keeping your feet where they are, let's go ahead and just come into a reverse triangle. Letting the opposite arm reach up as that right arm melts down the right leg. We're just gonna hang out here for a few breaths. Finding the relaxation and rest through the activity. Finding where it feels good to just breathe and really get into the sensation of the lines of energy through the body. You know, the lines of energy out the arms, out the legs, and up through the crown of the head. Good. And then we'll kind of go back and forth. We won't go so deep into it though. So we're gonna inhale, arms up, and then just exhaling back into the forward. And then we're gonna inhale, arms up, and into a reverse triangle. Good. Inhaling both arms up and finding as you inhale that forward triangle, inhaling arms up and reverse. One more time. Inhaling arms up, relaxing forward and inhaling up and relaxing back. Good. Inhaling arms up. Rotate that left toes forward. Bring the heels in and relax the arms down. Big open mouth exhale as you shake out through the hands and arms and shoulders, releasing head as well. Good. And we'll pause for just a moment. Close your eyes. Catch up with ourselves. Good. And then we're going to flow through the other side. So we're going to inhale the arms out to shoulder level. With your right foot, you can pick up the heel and just bring it out away from you just a little bit. And then you're going to pick up the toes of your right foot, swivel on the heel so that the toes are pointed away from you. And then feel your stance here. That's your foundation for your triangle. And then lifting through the crown always. And out through the arms. We're gonna go ahead and reach that right arm out, extending ourselves over that leg as the hips move in the other direction. And then when it feels ready, we're gonna let that arm come and find its place. It could be above the knee or below the knee. And then with that upper arm, make sure it's straight overhead, really finding the opposite line of energy from your arm that's down on the leg. And then find what position your gaze wants to hang out in. And enjoy these lines of energy that are radiating from every limb of your body, including your very center and core. There might be a sensation of irradiating all through the core outward. And making sure always to ground in through that breath, finding the space for smooth, deep connection and flow. Good. When you're ready, You're gonna imagine that those strings at your fingertips are pulling you up as you inhale, and effortlessly the body lifts. Good. Coming back to center. Take a breath here. And then another inhale, and we'll find reverse triangle as we relax your left arm down along your hamstring and down towards the knee, and the right arm reaches up. And from that solid base of your triangle, you're now getting a great stretch through the right side of your body, but you're really relaxing into this pose as well. So even though you're engaged, you know, all through every limb, you're also relaxing with the breath and finding a place where you can hang out and really enjoy the wave of the breath. Notice where you can release tension, staying loose. Notice the pelvic floor as as part of the container of your torso. Maybe you want to contract those muscles as you exhale and draw the belly muscles in as well, and then release that as you bring the next breath in. Good. Now we're going to flow. So we're going to bring the arms up as we inhale, and we're going to exhale into that triangle in the deeper side. Good. Inhaling back up and releasing into the reverse. Inhaling back up and releasing over that extended leg. Good. Inhaling back up and melting into the reverse. And one more time on each side, inhaling arms up and relaxing over, inhaling up and relaxing back. Good. And then we're going to inhale up. Lift the toes of your right foot, pivot on the heel so the toes come forward. Bring the left heels in, and then we're going to exhale the arms down. And then just bend a little bit into the knees. Make sure that the legs, the legs were kind of more not locked in the knees, but they were straight and they might have felt a little bit like that. So just bend into the knees a little bit, maybe move back and forth, communicating to your knees and legs that you want them to be feeling good, that you're only wanting to do this movement in a gentle, loving way. Good. Nothing that feels forced or too much. Good. And then just bring the feet a little bit more underneath the hips. And we'll just do, again, little smaller circles here with our hips, flowing in this region between our legs and torso. Good. And reversing. Good. And then kind of coming to the center. And let's just relax to one side, bringing the gaze up, inhaling to center. Relax to the other side as we gaze up. Good. Inhaling to center, back and forth. Good. Okay. And then coming back to center, we're going to take our arms and just find a spreading sensation through your palm and fingers, pressing through the arms and out through the palms. And then we're going to melt your left ear to the left shoulder. And then we're going to move our head across that shoulder. So inhaling back and exhaling forward. Again, find what feels easy and what feels helpful. Pausing and taking a couple breaths in any area that is calling for that. Just really getting in touch with the fascia and muscles in the front of the neck and then also in the back. Good. Finding that center again. We're going to inhale the head up and just relax as we exhale. Another inhale, finding that extension through the arms, and then melt your right ear to the right shoulder, taking a breath or two here. And then when you're ready, going ahead and finding a little motion across the shoulder. So inhaling head back and exhaling the head forward. Good. Finding the center and inhaling that head up. And big release on the exhale. Good. Let's inhale and draw those shoulders up to the ears and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release on the exhale. And let those arms grow a mile long. Wiggle your fingertips. Good. Inhaling, squeezing them towards the ears. And then releasing and wiggle. Good. One more time. Squeezing up and releasing down. Good. Let's now draw the shoulder blades and the elbows together. Can open up through the chest, bring the gaze and open the throat just a little bit. Good. And then we're going to exhale and just round through that upper back as you draw the fingers to tips more closer together and release the head forward. Good. Inhaling, we're going to draw shoulder blades, elbows together. Inhaling, bringing our gaze up. And then we're going to exhale, releasing the upper back, head forward. Good. You're inhaling and exhaling. While we do this, we have a soft bend in our knees, especially as we come forward. The tail kind of tucks under a tiny bit as we release our head towards the chest. Good. Good. One more time. And then we're just going to release. Come into more of a subtle movement. So the arms are hanging forward, our head is forward. And as we inhale, we're just going to let the elbows draw the arms up and open the arms just a little bit, very subtle. And then exhaling as we just soften forward. Inhaling, we're floating open. And as we exhale, we're softening inward. Inhaling as we invite and open, and exhaling as we release and soften. Letting our breath move the body. Good. And then just bringing the arms in front of your hips, opening the palms upward towards your heart, towards the lungs. And we're just going to hold here and breathe. On your exhale, imagine the energy traveling down the front inside area of your arm, all the way to your palm. And as you exhale, they're going to travel around the fingertips and up the backside of the arms. meeting in that area in the upper back between your shoulder blades. Good. And then coming forward and traveling down the front of the arms. Good. Inhaling up the backside. And exhaling down the front side of the arms. Feeling the circuit of energy. And as we do this breath meditation, you can visualize white light traveling with the breath down the inside of the arms, around the fingertips, and inhaling as the energy travels up the backside of the arms. Good. Now we're just going to release that practice. Allow the arms to relax down and close your eyes and just take a moment to notice how you're feeling. Good. Let's bring our hands together and rub our palms, rising. And we're going to take that heat and power that we're energizing in our palms, and we're going to just take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your palms to your forehead and just smooth down the temples and all the way through the jaw. So good. Just do that a couple times, smoothing across the forehead, temples, and jaw. Maybe bring your fingertips to your third eye area and just go across the top of the eyebrows, down the temples, and wrap around the lower jaw. Let's do that a couple more times. I get the image of an owl. Good, that feels super nice. Relaxing, soothing, good. And then we'll just shake that out. Bring our hands again. Generating heat, creating energy. And then bring your hands to your heart center, one on top of the other. Breathing fully into this area as you seal in your practice today. Good. So grateful for all of you. One more time, we're going to bring our hands together, feeling the amazing power of our own energy and the energy of our connection with each other and with the universe as well. And then bringing one hand on top of the other at our navel and taking a few breaths here. And take your top hand, bring it back to the chest, to the heart, and breathing here in that connection. Thank you for taking such good care of yourselves in this journey of life that we're all walking and dancing through. Sending love and light, beaming love and light out to you. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much.